Jasion EB5 Electric Bike. Right from the first glance, this bike really does give off a modern. It's got a simple, no-fuss look with clean lines and a frame that feels both sturdy and pretty lightweight. When I first took the Jasion EB5 out of the box, I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous about assembly. I'm not someone who usually feels at home putting bikes together, but this one caught me by surprise. The only parts I needed to put on were the front tire, handlebar, seat, and pedals. Having everything pretty much pre-assembled made this process way less intimidating than I'd expected. By taking it step by step, I was totally set to ride in just about 15 minutes. Looking over the Jasion EB5, a few key features pop out. One is its 26-inch tires. These are puncture-resistant, which is a huge deal if you're the kind of person who rides over rough city streets or even ventures onto park trails. The front fork suspension is another thing that stands out. If you don't know about suspension, basically it helps absorb shocks and bumps so your ride isn't jarring. Even casually going over cracks in the street or curbs felt much smoother because of this. The bike weighs under 50 pounds, and that's pretty manageable. I had no trouble lifting or moving it around when I needed to take it upstairs or store it in my apartment. From my experience riding the EB5, I noticed right away how the 350-watt motor works alongside your pedaling. It's got something called pedal assist, which just means the motor helps make pedaling easier. You can pick from 3 levels of pedal assist, and each one changes how much power you get from the motor. On level 1, I could comfortably cruise at around 10 miles per hour, nice for relaxed pedaling. At level 3, the assist kicks in strong, and you can reach up to 20 miles per hour with less effort than you'd expect. Honestly, it makes riding up moderate hills feel much less of a workout. There's also a throttle feature. This lets you twist the handle like a motorcycle and just go without pedaling. It's super handy in traffic or when you're starting from a stoplight. But for me, I used pedal assist most of the time because it strikes a good balance between feeling active and getting support from the motor. One of my initial concerns with electric bikes has always been battery life and the hassle of charging. The Jasion EB5 uses a 360 watt-hour removable battery. I really appreciate being able to pop the battery off and take it inside to charge, so I don't have to haul the whole bike up to my apartment. On a single charge, I averaged between 30 and 40 miles of range, depending on how much I used full throttle and pedal assist. If I relied mostly on minimal pedal assist, I could stretch the battery to its upper limit on easier rides. It does take about 5 to 6 hours for a full charge, which is manageable if you just plug it in overnight. The bike comes with a user-friendly LCD display. At first, I didn't think a display would make much of a difference, but after using it for a while, it was helpful to see my speed, trip distance, and current battery level all in one place. Plus, there's a little USB port right on the display, making it easy to charge my phone while riding. The controls for pedal assist and headlight are straightforward. Speaking of the headlight, it's pretty bright and really does help on dim streets, but the tail light is not integrated. You have to attach and charge it separately, which isn't ideal but not a deal breaker for me. For gears, this bike has 7 speeds. I like how this keeps things simple for newer riders who don't want to fuss with tons of gears. Shifting is smooth, and I never felt out of control or overwhelmed by too many options. That said, I did run into some occasional chain skipping in higher gears. It wasn't a big issue, but for folks very particular about their gear changes, you might notice it. Taking it to a bike shop for a little tune-up sorted this out for me. Comfort-wise, the high-carbon steel frame actually makes a noticeable difference in stability. The seat is adjustable, and the handlebars also offer enough height flexibility. I'm average height and found a comfortable fit, but I think even taller or shorter folks can tweak the bike for a good riding position. With mechanical disc brakes front and back, stopping power was reliable and immediate. I've tested these in both dry and slightly wet conditions, and I always felt in control without any scary moments. When it comes to riding on different streets, I spend most of my commute on the road, but sometimes I cut through park trails or slightly rougher paths. The EB5 handled varied terrain way better than I expected. The suspension up front eats up cracks and bumps, so I didn't feel as rattled after longer rides. I'd say it's perfect for urban and suburban commutes, casual rides with friends, or even getting groceries, as I occasionally use it to carry a bag or two. A subtle but handy feature is the horn. It's not just a simple bell, but a loud electronic horn, helpful if you need to get someone's attention on busy paths. The included kickstand is sturdy enough to keep the bike upright when parked, and that's something some more affordable bikes can skimp on. If you're wondering about the downsides, there are a few. Like I mentioned, assembly is easy for me, but if you're not comfortable with bikes, the instructions might not be super clear, and you may want help putting it together. When it arrived, there were some minor things, like a slightly bent wheel and a plastic part that had snapped during shipping. These were fixable, but it's something to keep in mind if you live in a place where service centers aren't close by. Another thing to note is that, while the 30 to 40 mile battery range is fantastic for my daily routine, if you're planning to take this bike on much longer day trips, you may want to carry a charger or an extra battery. For most commuters, though, the range is more than enough. In terms of price, I get that there are cheaper e-bikes out there with similar specs, but considering the build, comfort, and reliable electric support, I think the Jasion EB5 hits a sweet spot. From my experience, it's definitely not flimsy, and having a 12-month warranty gives me extra peace of mind. To sum up my quick review, the Jasion EB5 electric bike has become my first choice for city commuting and weekend rides. I'm happy with the solid power from the 350-watt motor, especially since it takes the effort out of daily cycling without making me feel like a passenger. The slick design, comfort on rough city streets, easy charging, and intuitive display help the bike fit into my routine. I'd recommend this for anyone in need of a versatile, fuss-free electric bike they can use for work, errands, or even just enjoying a ride around town. If you're new to e-bikes or want something that won't overwhelm you, the EB5 strikes a good balance between technology and simplicity. In conclusion, Jasion EB5 electric bike is a solid investment. I feel like it's opened up new possibilities for how I get around and made my daily commutes less stressful and a lot more fun. If you've got similar needs as mine, I think you'll like it too. You can find detailed information about the Jasion EB5 electric bike in the comments section. See you in the next video.